Hey, brown girl. In a world that is set up to make you question who you are, take this time to reconnect to your greatness and speak to the inner depths of your soul. Your grace is undeniable. Your confidence is envied. You radiate and shine in every space you occupy. It's time to take back your power and remember who you are. Take a deep breath. Release all doubt and repeat after me. Today, I choose to walk in peace that will not be disturbed. I will allow my mind to exist in my unlimited future. I am breaking cycles of trauma on my bloodline. I will take up space without shrinking. My ideas will impact generations to come. I belong in the rooms that I walk into. Today, I will effortlessly walk in purpose. I attract peace and abundance. When my feet touch the floor, the day stands at attention. I am calm, confident, powerful, and filled with love. I trust myself to explore the possibilities of my heart's desires. Today, I rise with the power of my ancestors. It is okay to rest from productivity. I will live my dreams out loud. Creativity flows effortlessly through me. Emotions are welcome in my space and in my body. I am overflowing with abundance. It is time to create again. It is time to dream again. Every breath brings more joy, more peace, and more healing. I belong in every room that I walk into. Radical rest is my birthright. Inhale confidence and exhale doubt. Today, I choose gratitude. It is okay to not be okay. My testimony will be someone else's survival guide. I give myself grace and space on my journey. I show up every day as my full and complete self. Growth is difficult, but I trust that I am strong enough to do it. I will always be enough. I trust myself to set boundaries that will protect my peace. My peace is my superpower. Every step in the right direction is a step in the right direction. I believe I will receive what I need at the exact time that I need it. Someone smiled today because I am still here. I believe in my ability to do things that scare me. I put out the energy I wish to receive. I will stop apologizing for being myself. My mistakes do not define me. I was put on this earth to walk out my unique purpose. I let go of drama and embrace peace. I am attracting people that align with my peace and my joy. I am continuing to heal every day that I continue to breathe. I am confident that things are working out for my good. If it doesn't bring me joy, it isn't welcome in my space. I only strive to be a better version of myself. As I walk, I shine my light on my journey of purpose. I decide to wake up each morning and choose joy. I am manifesting my happiest self. Brown girl, it's time to shine.
Hey y'all, I'm Kimberland, and this is the Frolicking Truth, a soft space for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal. Here, joy meets justice. We calm our black ass nervous systems. We unmask and we leave behind whatever that is trying to kill us. You're seen here. You're safe here. And you don't have to do this alone. Bam, 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 bam. I'm so excited to be here. Hello again. Welcome to, we got the air horns outside. Outside is so lit right now. It is so lit outside. I had to go and take my laundry. And I was like, I finally had to just hold my hand up. Like, y'all see me standing here trying to cross this here street. Nah, cut it out. Like I did to a bus. I was like, enough. Okay, I'm finna cross. Gosh. So outside is, hey Sarah. Outside is really, really active on this Saturday. And so I guess they'll be chiming in as we are here because they blowing them horns like they going out of style. Okay, so just count it all a part of the ambiance. Right. But yeah, so hey, welcome to the Frolicking Truth. Come on in, take a seat, get comfortable. I'm really excited to have you here with me today for episode 59 of the Frolicking Truth podcast for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. It is okay if you don't identify with any of those descriptors. It is absolutely fine. I just ask that when you are in this space that you come ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to support. So, hello again. My name is Kimberland, and welcome to my world that I have over here. There's a lot of things that I want to share about what is going on over in this universe. The first thing that I want to share is I am like actively what I want. I guess the word is reintegrating. Maybe that's the word. I am actively reintegrating my life back into my life. I left my life for a little while, which is how Minding My Black Ass Business got born. And I'm actively like reintegrating back into Kimberland Jackson. And what does that mean? And it is a very interesting process, honestly. Um, so anyway, I'll get into that more a little later. But I brought that up because I am streaming on Minding My Black Ass Business right now, but I'm also streaming on my Kimberland Jackson page. If you're over on Kimberland Jackson, my invitation, because nothing's really over there. Nothing's really over there. As you can see, the last videos that I made over there were in 2020, and it was a series of videos where I was like, hey, y'all, shit's about to go really, really crazy. And you know what we need to do? Figure out our gifts so that we can be in place to do what we're supposed to do because shit's wild right now. It was in 2020 in the middle of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I was in Tampa at the time. And the block was hot from all sides. Okay. And yes, I made this series of videos. So that's the only thing that's over there on the Kimberland Jackson page. Not to say that you shouldn't go watch it. You absolutely should, because it's proof of what I was saying 6 years ago, right? But I'm figuring out what I want to do with that page. And so I'm trying to provide bridges to understanding as well as figure out what I'm doing with my life. Okay. Because Minding My Black Ass Business has become much larger than myself. And it has evolved beyond Minding My Black Ass Business into the archive, which is our Patreon community. And so I'm trying to help people navigate, because I know if you don't have directions, you could come over here and you get confused. But what I want you to know, it's a good time. It's a good time. And I want you to look around. I want you to get connected. I want you to be involved in the things. Okay. So I am going to give the updates and announcements so you'll know what's going on right here up front. If you're watching this in the replay, okay, you can fast forward through this if you want to, but also I'm trying. So the first is this button not working. What is happening? Personal hotspot available. Cut it out. Okay, so anyway, I do want to give an invitation for y'all to join us in the archive. When you see the little symbol with the P, those are Patreon exclusive, archive exclusive spaces. So when you see that come up, if it's something that you would like to be involved in, then that means that that's happening in the archive. So just kind of you the navigate around here. But you can join us in the archive. It's $5 a month, and that $5 goes to support the work that we are doing, these spaces that we're building out, making sure that we have systems in place to make things sustainable and things of that nature. We are a community of creatives. People are building out new universes as we speak. So it's a really cool place to be and connect with community. I do want to let you know it's under construction. All right. So we getting everything together. So just be patient, give grace. All right. Just want to let you know. But that also means that everybody that's in there has the opportunity to be a participant of building out a space that will be able to provide a network of support for all of us. So I want to pause here and give you a chance to take a picture of our August events that we have going on. So we're halfway through the month and there's still a lot more going on. So I'm going to pause here and let you do that. And I'm back like I never left. Buenos dias, embrace all that is you. Welcome to the party. So yeah, these are the events that we have going on in the month of August. And so I want to highlight a few other things. So you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese, which is my podcast with my cousin Kalanda. We are back for another live episode tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, right here on Minding My Black Ass Business on this network. So you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese. Yes, we do put syrup on our grilled cheese. And we also thought that everybody else in the world did that until we realized that was only happening. Maybe we've narrowed it down to just my house, that this was happening. And so we are we're missionaries, if you will, spreading the good news of syrup on grilled cheese, because it really is a life-changing experience. And it really does give you an opportunity to have your taste buds dance, and so we really recommend that people check it out. But anyway, on this podcast, we talk about the things that we thought were normal, but was actually the recipe of family dysfunction. So we're back tomorrow with a new episode to unpack all the things that have been happening over the past 2 weeks. I told you all last week, I made a big announcement that I am the new co-host on the Let's Talk Sis podcast with Shekinah. She proposed to me and I accepted. And so actually today at 3 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be recording the first episodes of Let's Talk Sis 2.0. So if you are in the archive, you'll be able to get that link and come hang out with us and be a part of the show and be a part of the shenanigans and all the things that we'll discuss and be in community, if you will. Okay, so that is happening today at 3 p.m. Also, Just Ask Kim happens every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, right? So this is, you got to get your lineup together. You know what I mean? So it's like Wednesday is Just Ask Kim, okay? Then on Thursdays, we have co-working. Now, co-working is open to everybody. It's here on YouTube, again, right here on Minding My Black Ass Business. And in co-working, we are doing that. We're working. We also always have a mindset moment where we talk about our mental health and like what's happening within our brains. We get some work done, and then we end it with brands, business, and boundaries, where we have conversations about the things that are important to us as creatives and as entrepreneurs, and how do we honor the bigness of all of the stuff that we're doing in these universes that we're birthing and all of that. So it's a really cool space, and that happens every Thursday from 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern right here on this network. Season one is a Patreon exclusive space where it's a rewatch podcast. And right now we are rewatching Girlfriends, Mara Brock Akil's Girlfriends. And we just had season one last night, and it was a good time. We watched episodes 11 and 12. So it was about the list, and I forget what episode 11 what the title was, but we had a really good time talking about relationships. A lot of the themes that were coming up, I was like, I'm gonna be talking about this tomorrow. So it's a really good time to not just look at things from the entertainment lens, but also a chance to discuss things like production and wardrobe, relationships, friendships, and all of that. So we are there every second and third Friday, and we meet on Zoom. And so you can be a part of the discussion. You can listen to the discussion. Like, it's really up to you how you want to roll with that. But we do that. Hey there, let's talk, sis. Got to have the lineup together, baby. So I also want to remind you. So remember, I said, let me go back when I was like, mark your calendars. So this is Wednesday events. Okay, it's just Ask Kim, and this is a space where I'm giving behind the scenes information, and also like we can just kind of talk and question and answer. Thursday co-working, second and third Fridays, we got season one. Okay. Saturdays, we have the Healing Circle. Now, the Healing Circle happens every second Saturday of the month. This is a space that is exclusive for Black women. And it's a space for Black women to reconnect to their bodies and back to their breath so that they are able to move the energy that we collect moving around the world, that we're able to move that energy through our bodies. So this is in partnership with Vanessa, who's the well educator, and she's a trauma informed yoga specialist. And so she leads us through breath work and yoga and the centering, if you will. And then we always have some type of discussion prompt or meditation moment or an opportunity to go a little bit deeper. So if that sounds like something that you would love, or someone you know would love, please send them in our direction. You can register at tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. I mentioned last week that the Collective Exchange is going to be going live pretty soon. And the Collective Exchange is a space for us to post opportunities for people who want to be in support of the work that we're doing. So we rely heavily on a barter system here in our universe, because sometimes money gets in the way of things. And so we have very intentional conversations about what this would cost monetarily and what would that be exchanged for and what that looks like and sounds like. So we're going to be posting those um, those positions and opportunities really soon. So I'm just kind of letting you know that it's going to be going live. And then that'll be a place where you'll be able to look and see if you would like to partner with us on any of the things that we have going. I also wanted to give y'all a heads up. So Labor Day weekend is going to be lit over here around these parts. Okay. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on. All right. So that Friday of Labor Day weekend, and when I'm mentioning Labor Day, I'm talking specifically to those of you who live in the US. If you don't live in the US, this is the first weekend in September. So Shekinah and the Let's Talk Sis sisterhood, they are hosting us in a First Fridays Girls Night In. Did I show y'all the Francesca? Did I let y'all see Francesca? I don't know. Hold on. Let me let y'all see Francesca right quick. Hold on a second. Because you need context. Let me pull up Francesca. Oh my God. Every time I come over here, there are so many notifications and I can't deal. Mind you, there are like four, but also it's too many. Okay, wait. I gotta move this out the way. I gotta do this. Okay. Stop, guys. Okay, wait. Instagram is so aggravating sometimes. All right, let me let y'all see Francesca. Where am I at? How do I bring it back? Okay. Thank you, Queen Pin Francesca Red Lip Esposito here. We're here at the girls' night in. Gonna make some pasta. Okay, now listen, I've never done this before, okay? This is a recipe that came from the boss lady, all right? So we're using like about 3/4 cup of flour to an egg, okay? You put it in the well and you can see it wasn't working out so well for me, but I saved the day, okay? You know, I'm Francesca, the queen pin. I got this. You feel me? So, yeah, you get all the things together, put a little bit more flour and things if it's sticky, you know, and you gotta knead it and knead it. You know, you do it for a while. You work up a little bit of a sweat if you really want to know, you know. But if it's a little too sticky, you just put some more flour on it. Okay, and it'll be just fine. It'll be totally fine. You just keep working it and doing the things that need to get done. Okay. Oh, I didn't show you. You gotta put a splash of olive oil because we're Italian. What else do you expect? Now you let it rest just for a moment. You know, maybe about 30 minutes. Let it rest the same way Paulie's resting at the bottom of the river. Now I don't own a rolling pin. Okay, I don't own a rolling pin, but I had this cup that I could use. Okay, you just need you a flat container, if you will. You know, get your rolling on. Put some more flour, a lot of flour we had to use here to make sure it's not sticky. Okay, so we roll it out, get those biceps and triceps going in case you gotta put somebody in a headlock. You know what I mean? You never know. So, yeah, so I rolled that for a little while, and then you gotta flip it, toss it, flip it up, reverse it, you know, all the things, a little bit more flour, okay? Then we roll it up like a cinnamon roll. Now, in hindsight, I would have cut off those raggedy edges, but it was my first time. Forgive me. Look at me, y'all. I got a noodle. I got a noodle. Matter of fact, I got a whole bunch of them, okay? You see me? I made the noodles, all right? So then you got to make it real pretty so we can take a picture. You got to have evidence and receipts. People will say that you lied, okay? So then I put it all together and let me just hush so you can see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good. Let me tell you something. That pasta was busted. It was so good. Also, I just want to mention Sarah. Sarah's got it in here. She said this accent. Okay. Yes, okay. This accent. Let me tell you, Francesca. The people have been asking for the queen pin, and I'm excited. I'm excited about it because the queen pin is ready to get out here and let the people know what she's doing in the kitchen. Okay, it's been a really good time. I tell ya, you know, I was telling Vinny the other day, you know, because we were talking about Paulie. You know, y'all know what happened and things that I was telling him I'm glad to be back. You know, I went away for a while, if you will. And, you know, now I'm back and ready to be in front of the people. I am so excited about the things that we have in the girls' night. And it is so much fun. We be having a good time. And I be with the shenanigans because I love shenanigans. So, just so you know, If you come to one of the girls' night events, that is what happens over there in the space, and you can be a part of it as much or as little as you would like, but it's a really good time. So the next event again is going to be happening over Labor Day weekend, and there's going to be a movie night. Okay, so we're going to watch The Best Man, and apparently the dress code is wedding guest glam, dressed like the photos might surface. Okay, whatever that looks like. So to register for that, if you go over to the LTS Sisterhood over at Patreon, you'll be able to get all of those links to be a part of that. Everybody who is in the archive, both free and paid, are able to be a part of the cookout. Y'all, this is the thing. If you watch From Auntie with Love, one time we had, wait, let me take this down for just a second. One time we had an episode and we were talking about where we would be at the cookout. And I was like, I haven't been to a cookout in so long. And I think the aunties thought that I was being bougie, but I haven't lived in the US. Like, I haven't been to a cookout in forever. And I'm not gonna lie, I be feeling some type of way because people just be out chilling, they be doing the things, they posting their pictures, and they out there footloose and fancy free. Sarah out there going to the pool in New York, and like, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And I be feeling like I'm missing out. So we are going to host a virtual cookout day party so we can connect virtually about the things. So we're hosting a virtual cookout on Sunday, September 6th. That's the day before Labor Day if you live in the US. And at this cookout, we are going to be having a good time. We are DJ sets, podcasts, lore and marathons, games, drinks, just dancing, laughing, having a good time, connecting. One of the highlights that we're going to have is a gift competition, because a lot of y'all be talking cash money about your gift usage and where you are out here in the world of giftery. And we need to give y'all a chance to shine. Okay. So we're developing that out. And then we're also probably going to test pilot the spades classes. Okay. There are people who have expressed interest in learning how to play spades in a safe and calm environment. And I second that emotion. Okay. So we are going to, I'm looking for the right platform. So I'm hoping that I'm able to do it the way that I want to do it. But at the very least, we're going to start unpacking the trauma that we carry in regards to spades, y'all. I had asked people, it was a post somebody had down on their I talked about it here on one of these episodes. Somebody had posted on their Insta page and they were like, the trauma of not knowing how to play spades or something like that. And the number of people that were in the comments, because I was like, if I hold something to teach y'all gonna come. And it was like, so you could be cussing at me, I ain't finna be having. Hey, relax. Don't nobody want to cuss at you. Don't nobody want to. I just want to help. I just want to help so we can save the recipes, y'all. We losing the recipes. Okay. So, yeah, I want to like figure out what that space is going to look like, but it's going to be a vibe. Okay, it's really going to be a vibe, and I'm really excited about it. And so I'm telling you now so that you can mark your calendars. Okay, so if you go over to the Patreon, then you'll be able to get the link to register. The post will be pinned in the Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/minding my black ass business, even if you're a part of the free Patreon, you're able to be a part of this. This is our invitation for y'all to come into the yard, if you will, and see what we got going on, meet other people, meet people that may not necessarily have their universes built out yet. Like, this is a chance for us to come and chill and hang out and have a good time. Okay. So wanted to let you all know about that. Again, that's on Sunday, September 6th. We're going to pause here for a quick commercial break so I can drink some water, and then we finna get into the things. What if the thing you've always called too much was the exact thing God designed on purpose? This is for the ones who've always known they were different. Too sensitive, too loud, too knowing, too intuitive, too woo-woo. But what if your sensitivity is actually your superpower? What if your intuition was your inheritance? Discover Your Destiny is a 10-week sacred journey back to yourself. We explore the design of your soul, your spiritual gifts, and the unique way that God speaks to you. This isn't church. It's not a rule book. It's not a performance. It's the moment you stop chasing approval and start walking in divine alignment. You'll gain clarity, language, and confidence around who you are and what you are here on the earth to do. You'll learn the real voice of God. And if you feel called to go on to become a certified intuitive melanated life coach, this is where that path begins. There are 2 ways to enter this sacred container: the Destiny track, full investments and coaching experience, or the Divine Exchange track, where internship meets soul work. You'll support podcasting, content creation, or brand development behind the scenes while learning how your unique gifts benefit the collective. Your knowing isn't a flaw, it's the fingerprint of God. This is your invitation, and I hope that you'll answer. So if you want more information about Discover Your Destiny, please go to dyd25.com. I am doing one-to-ones right now. There aren't any group. There won't be any more group classes available until next year, but I am doing one-to-ones where we can walk you through the journey and you get your own personalized experience. Okay. So, and that is available as well through the Divine Exchange track. So, want to put that out there. Okay. All right. Now, let's get into the auntie check-in. This is the part of our show where I tell y'all what's going on with me, what's been happening out here, some things and stuff. So I usually start this off with a discussion about Raina. Okay, Raina is my hair. Throw some crowns in the chat for Raina. Okay. I'm really liking this stage of growth right here. When I had first, so if you watch older videos of me, I had a lot of hair. It was like this long, and then I had cut it for my birthday, and then it started growing back. Because that's what hair does, but also my hair be growing. And so I am accepting the fact that I'm just gonna have to do chops every so often or something, because it just Raina keeps growing. So anyway, I'm happy with this. I like this particular phase that we're at right now because it's kind of starting to shape. Because this is the thing, I'm not a hairstylist. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just now. Granted, I've upgraded. I had the first time I did a big chop, I just used kitchen scissors. Okay. Get it out of here. We're done. This time I at least have hair scissors, right? So I'm using hair scissors, but also I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I feel like where we are right now, the things are kind of growing in where it's giving me some versatility. So I was able to do a little pushback situation here. We kind of have some bangs going a little bit, and so I'm enjoying this. Also, I'm really enjoying the flaxseed gel. I am, first of all, so I had the flaxseed gel that I had been making, right? Then, oh my God, I'm itching just thinking about it, girl. So some time had passed and I had made more. And I had opened up the bag that the flaxseed gel was in. Girl, it had bugs in there, girl. Oh my God, I couldn't get it out of here fast enough. I am itching just now thinking about it. It was a lot. Um, and so I threw that away. And then I, of course, had to get some more and then look like, what is the proper way to store this? Because that cannot happen again. Nonetheless, the making of the flaxseed gel is fairly easy. And So the first time I had made it, I didn't have a mesh strainer. And so I had a lot of seeds in it, which is not what's supposed to happen, right? But that was a trial run. You know, I'll be experimenting. So then I also don't like the stocking thing. My fingers, somebody made a comment on Facebook about Francesca's video. And she was like, you're trying to be all dainty with your fingers. You got to get in there. And this is the thing. This is the thing. There's a clip on So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese where I'm talking about finger meat. And I was like, I be trying to use as little finger meat as possible. I don't like for my hands to be dirty. Like, I'm a chronic paper towel user, I'm a chronic wash your handser. It's very difficult for me to exist in spaces where my hands have to be dirty. So I'm always looking for an alternative of how I can interact with this with the least amount of getting my hands dirty. Um, and so it's funny that was because that's that tism, that OCD. Like, it's just a lot. Even as I'm sitting here talking about it, I feel it on my hand, my fingers. Also, though, that pasta was busting, so it's worth it. It's worth it. That pasta was busting, and I didn't even have a rolling pin, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Now I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. That pasta was busting. I had wound up getting some more pasta from the store. I had bought some because what had happened is I didn't have. There are so many parts of life that I be thinking through logisticals that people probably don't think about, and I just dare to say the things out loud. But when I had went to the grocery store the other day, um, the only egg size that they had was 30. 30 eggs is a lot. I really don't even actively eat eggs like that. Eggs come into play, and also Shekinah, I know, I'm sorry. Trigger warning. Somebody put when we're done talking about eggs, put eggs in the chat so Shekinah knows that we're done. She doesn't like eggs. But I only use eggs for French toast or if I'm making pasta now. But like, and every so often, if I'm saying to myself, I have to have some form of protein. Like, come on, girl, you got to have something. So then I might do French toast and have an egg on the side, right? But 30 eggs is OD. And how am I supposed to carry 30 eggs back? I can't even really put that in my bag. You know, with a dozen of eggs, you could just put it in your in because you know you just carry your own bag territory, you know. So like you could just put the carton in there or on top or you know, whatever, but it's in my bag. 30? That's two hand situation. And now I don't have a hand because I need to bring some water because I be thirsty. So every time I go to the store, I need to get water today. So I had dropped off my laundry a moment ago. And after I had went to the laundry place, and then I said, "Oh, let me go get some water because I be thirsty." And then I go in there, they ain't have no water, and that happens from time to time, and I be so frustrated because this water over here at this store is three times, no, it's 3.4 thousand Colombian pesos, right? And at the other store, it's like 9.6 thousand. Like, why y'all water so expensive in this? But also, I don't want to think about it too hard because that's gonna lead me down the road because I'm also a microbiologist. So anyway, it's a lot of logisticals that be happening. And it's a lot. I don't even know how I got there. I don't even know how I got there. But these are the things that I be thinking about. Let me try to bring it back. I had to get that all out, y'all. It'd be a lot, and I'd be carrying all this by myself. So you're welcome. You're welcome for the deposit of all the thoughts that you don't feel like you've gotten to say out loud because this is not a unique experience. I know it ain't. This is not a unique experience. There are people who have the, especially about having to feed ourselves every day. Because this is the thing. I am so sick and tired of having to figure out what to eat every freaking day. Every day? This is so stupid. Like, I hate it so much. Also, I love to cook. You know what it is? It's really the washing of the dishes. It's really the washing of the dishes. I was also kind of tortured. Oh my God, Sarah, wait, I'm gonna get back to this comment just a minute. I was tortured about washing dishes. That was my chore when I was a child. And it's so crazy because I remember being a little girl and wanting to be so excited about washing dishes. I remember getting the chair from the kitchen table and standing on the chair so I could reach, so I could learn how to wash dishes. And then it turned into a slave task. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. And so when I'm thinking about what I'm going to cook, I'm always thinking about what is the thing that I can cook with the least amount of dishes because I'm tired of washing dishes. Okay. Hey, twin. Sarah, let me come back to this right quick because this is the thing. Sarah said microbiology plus COVID era really took my hand washing OCD to another level. Y'all be acting like y'all ain't never grew bacteria before, bro. How are people out here moving like we didn't experience COVID? If this was animated right now, I want y'all to imagine that my head just exploded and blew off my neck because how? I need to drink some water. So that's what life has been like. That's what life has been like. And I know I'm not alone. So when I find somebody who gets it, I know that you get it. I know that you get it because COVID's still here. It's all kind of cooties and things out there. It's all kind of cooties and things out there. Okay. And I have to like actively not go super hyper, like extra, like I actively have to divorce what I know on a daily basis to be able to exist in the world because I see things. What we was watching I think it was at season one, and they were depicting germs and they were showing, it was a commercial, and they were showing the germs and the germs were green. And the question was asked, why are they showing the germs green? When I tell you that's literally what I see, that I be seeing in black light, that I see the the microscopic organisms. I see them. I know they're there. I know you can't see them, but I know that they're there. Also, put this in the storyline, Shekinah. I see it, and I just don't understand how other people don't see it because we've had opportunities to see it. And then I'd be like, who was your science teacher? Did you take biology? Did y'all grow the thing? Did y'all not swab toilet seats and phones and things? And then it all comes back to, yeah, girl, you are really a nerd. And I'm all right with that. That's what I want y'all to know. I'm all right with that. And it's interesting how you are perceived versus how one perceives themselves, right? But like I'm totally cool with it. It was more like I didn't know where my people was at. Like, oh, we over here. The fuck's up, y'all? it was like that. So I want y'all to know that. Okay. And so no, I'm not trolling people. Okay. I am like just understanding my nerdhood, blurredhood. Okay. And also I'm busting up in the room because what up? Where the hell y'all been? Why ain't nobody tell me y'all was over here? Ain't nobody told me nothing, bro. Ain't nobody told me nothing, but I'm here now. And I got some things I wanna say. Oh my God, I'm doing the most today. You're welcome. So, I have embraced a few things about myself. I have embraced that I am officially a blurt, and I'm like, how did I miss it? But also, hell yeah, okay. And I've also embraced that I'm officially what the people call crunchy. And I'm also okay with that because um I be in the comments, y'all. I really be conducting experiments, which is so crazy. Rolando, I appreciate you, twin. Twin said if I would have met you sooner, I would have put you in Blur Gang. I feel you. And I need you to put me on. You know what I'm saying? Like I need you to walk and be like, y'all, this twin, okay, she a OG, but also she been looking for us. Twin is here, you know. Yeah. And so then the next community is the crunchy community. And the crunchy community, she said you're a potato chip with flavor. Let me talk about potato chips for a second. Because I'm not really I think you did this on purpose. I feel like you would be like, if I ask her this, she finna go on another tangent. Also, I am. So my favoriteest potato chips in the whole wide, wide world are salt and vinegar potato chips. Salt and vinegar potato chips are the best potato chips ever made. And then if you could get like kettle salt and vinegar potato chips, I love them so much. They made me happy in my spirit. If I cannot do salt and vinegar, there was a time in my life where I was willing to go barbecue. I believe like that time has passed because I feel like barbecue now, mind you, I ain't been in the States, so I don't know what y'all's brand is, but I'm gonna say barbecue here. It ain't barbecue like barbecue used to be. And it's probably a different flavor because they use real ingredients here and stuff. So anyway, tangent. So now I'm more of a plain chip girl. Now, this is the thing. The only time I really find myself eating potato chips now is if I am having two things, either avocado toast or tuna fish. Other than that, there is no place for potato chips. And they that like cuz I'm not a snacker like that because I eat snacks, but also I waste snacks because I be off of something. You know how people be saying they on the kick right now? Like I be on the kick and then I get off it. And so now I have to embrace all that as you said. Oh, now you want to battle me? Hers salt and vinegar chips are the best chips ever. Turn your lips white, they season so well. My second choice is Lay's Classic. I agree. So yeah, I'm a contextual chip person. You know, because but now I tell you what I will tear down is some fries, baby. Oh, I will eat some fries. Fries are something that are like a constant stay in the freezer. I love fries. Okay, but anyway, no, that's not what I meant when I said crunchy. Also, hey y'all, if you watching and you're able to come into the chat, you come into the chat and talk to the people. And thank you for being here. Make sure y'all press the like button and do the things and tap the screen and stuff. You know, the stuff. Thank y'all. Um No, that's not what I mean by crunchy. What I mean by crunchy is that I mean holistic. I mean aware of what is they I think they call it crunchy because they related to granola, if I'm not mistaken. I could also be making this up, and this could be my own understanding of what this has meant. But when I've heard people use it in context, they say crunchy are like people that are into plant medicine, people that have done ayahuasca, people that do yoga, while it's basically like people that don't want to have prescription medication because for whatever reason they don't trust the government or they just don't want to have things in their body that they don't know what it is like, so that's crunchy. And I'm all right with that because also I have picture evidence of what I used to look like when I lived in the US. I have picture evidence. I've lived my life, and I know who don't be busting it down at the gym is Kimberland Jackson. Ever, I mean, ever. Now, am I just sitting sedentary, never moving? No, I be doing stuff, but I ain't been out here busting it down. I'm also not counting calories and things. Am I aware of what I eat? Yes, but the difference is the food is real. They got seeds in the bananas. Y'all knew that? Did y'all know they were supposed to have seeds in bananas? I didn't. I'm just asking. So that's okay. If I'm crunchy, that's no problem. I'm very okay with that. Now they're having a fried discussion. Hold on, we gotta weigh in. Um Fries are the only goated food. It's the only thing I don't hate making time for to eat. I feel like fries are also often available in spaces because, mind you, I don't eat meat. I do eat seafood and fish currently for however long that lasts. But even if you go to a burger spot, whatever, like fries are often available. And if they don't have fries, they got potatoes. Can y'all cut me up some potatoes back there? Thanks. And so yeah, I feel like they're often a safe food for many. I only eat fries one at a time and apply ketchup on each fry. It bothers me to see people stuff more than one fry in their mouth at a time. Interesting. I am a single fry eater. I'm a dipper. So I don't like having the ketchup drizzled all over. I don't like things all over my fries. I wanna control what I put. So when I'm eating fries, I need to have like my now I'm a saucy bitch, okay? I know some of y'all don't really like sauce and y'all don't really like sauce and things. Also, is ketchup a sauce? I don't know. But listen, I like to have my containers of my different sauces so I can try them and I can try them in the combination that I want to have them because they like fries with sauce here. That's something that they do. And I'm all right with it. But don't put it all over my fries. Let me do that. So just give it to me on the side, and then I'll hook it up like that. So yeah. No soggy food. Yeah. Contains sauce. We have to savor each and every fry. Otherwise, what's the point? I know. I'd be like, where you going? Is somebody chasing you? Why you gonna stuff all the fries in your mouth? You okay? But that's how I eat my food. I don't know if y'all remember they had a TikTok trend a long time ago, and they were talking about the partners. People were eating and like the they would eat the wife would try to eat at the pace of the man, and then the man would try to eat at the pace of the wife, and usually it was that the men were scarfing down their food without even hardly freaking chewing. Are you even tasting what the hell how big is your throat? Is that a plausible moment? Also, my throat is not that big. I choke. Literally, if I had to have the Heimlich maneuver done on me, I'm not fit. I got to take my time and make sure that everything is okay. And I would like to taste my food, please. God dang. Okay, let me get off of that. Y'all be distracting me. Um, I'm thinking about my nerd wardrobe and what that looks like. I very much back in the day used to be like super preppy and definitely was pleated skirt me down. Okay. I didn't really have pigtails, but I did have a bob. Okay. Because baby always had the hair was popping. But I'm thinking about what my nerd wardrobe is for this particular stage of life. And so I've been going through a few different things. I've hung out in the mermaid world. I've hung out I entered the fairy world the other day. I've been floating through the Comic Con worlds. Also, though, back to the fairies. I saw this lady the other day, this fairy, and she was doing hand bubbles. So, like, she had a container. First off, it was grossing me out because there are too many hands, and I need us to have separate containers. Why y'all acting like there wasn't COVID? I don't understand. But anyway, outside of that, suspending that from my understanding, you have a container that has bubble juice in it. And then you take your hand. She said I guess you gotta do it like real tight like that. And then you wet your whole hand and then you blow into it and then you make hand bubbles. And it's like this, super unique fairy hand bubble thing. And like there's a whole bubble community. And I was like, nah, a bitch like me would not mind being a part of that. I would not mind being a part of the bubble community. And so if the fairies live where the bubble community are, then I got to go see about the fairies because a bitch loves bubbles. So I've been trying to figure out what that looks like. And so I'll keep y'all posted. I'll give y'all the what I want to say. The Y'all will see the proof and evidence as I evolve over life of which directions I decided to go. Now, if you're in the archive, I'm gonna take y'all along for the journey as I'm gonna find the hand bubble thing, and I'm gonna put it in the archive so y'all can see it. It was the cutest thing. It was so cute. But yeah, so I'm trying to figure that out, and that's gonna be interesting. Also, there was an earthquake, and that has been a lot. Um, I talked about it a little bit on Wednesday and just asked Kim, and those were like my initial uh y'all, that was a lot, type shit. Um, and then there was another earthquake yesterday. So there was an earthquake here in Colombia, and then there was an earthquake yesterday in Indonesia, which was about the same strength. The one that was here was a 7.4. The one in Indonesia was a 7.7. And some months ago, there was an earthquake in Venezuela. I can't recall the I can't recall the strength of it, but it's a lot to process. So was the area that I'm in impacted by it, not with structural damage. There are some cracks. So actually, this is one of the things I hate about going outside because I be seeing people and don't be wanting to see people, but also I be needing to see people, but I don't like people just showing up. So what had happened was when I had went to the laundromat, I had ran into the man that redid this apartment and just so happened to be in the elevator. So then the other guy who's like, this guy was supposed to come by to see these cracks because there's a crack at the bottom of the stairs, and then there's a crack that runs from upstairs to downstairs, and it's the crack in the paint, but I don't know it doesn't look like it's structural. So like there wasn't structural damage for real per se, just kind of like that type of stuff. The animals were definitely doing a lot though, because I had went to the park and I had recorded a video, and in the video the animals were the birds, and it wasn't just birds though, it was like they were making a lot of noise, so it was definitely clear like that something had happened. But no, child, they went back to acting like nothing had happened. Now mind you, it was 7:30 in the morning. That's when they like start going to work and stuff. Like they do get to being in them streets about 7 or so. And I was in the bed, but after it finally stopped, I heard horns. Like they was like, "Burb, I gotta get to work. I ain't got time for this." Like it I was like, so y'all just it just like nothing happened. But then the videos and things started rolling in from the Pacific coast. And so tomorrow, and so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese, Kalanda will share what her experience was like, because they're over on the Pacific coast of Colombia and it was worse over there. Um because there was another earthquake recently here that they felt that I didn't feel. So to your point, Mother Earth is sick of this. It's sick of this. Sick of this, y'all. And it's a lot. Like it's a lot to process. And I'm a scientist, right? So I'm a biologist. I have not spent a lot of my life looking at things necessarily through a biological lens, especially once I honed in on the practice of education and like the actual science of education. I kind of stepped out of the biological sciences world. But as I've shared, I've recently come back to myself, and taking a moment to look around at what is happening on the planet is it's a sobering thought, because the planet is literally enough. Like it just feels like it's like enough. And I remember I was watching something one day, and this lady was talking about the trees. And she was saying that if you go into like wooded areas, there are trees on the outside that act as gatekeepers. And so sometimes people trip on a root, on an exposed root when they're walking in and all that. And just this morning, so I was in the comments. I was in the comments because it's been a lot of discussion. I'm not going to get into this here. I don't know where I'm going to get into this, but it's probably, if anywhere, it's going to be with the archive. But there was this video, one new ager versus 20 Christians on Dr. Daff. And I've mentioned her program before, because I had watched an episode where she had people who were into holistic medicine and Western medicine, and they were talking. And I talked about it here on the Frolicking Truth. And so this is that same channel. She does a lot of these panel 1 to 20 situational things. And so I watched it because I saw they talked about it on Here's the Thing, and it was all over the internet and all that. And y'all know I don't like to do things that are popular, but also I am actively deconstructing things, which is what I'm about to get into in a second. Um, I'm actively deconstructing things, and it is making me hyper aware and able to see the vortex of religion, and specifically I'm going to speak to Christianity because that is the one that I have experience with. I have not had experiences with other religions, so I cannot speak to those. But Christianity is based in, I'm going to say this, the iteration of Christianity that we received in the United States is based in fear. And that was really the only thing that they had to offer in response to legitimate questions or response or things that invited science into. Now, mind you, Jasmine Gardens, oh, I don't know her name for real. I think that's what it is, Jasmine Gardens. She is not a scientist. So watching it as a scientist, it made me have additional questions as a scientist. Now, this is the thing I also know. So, y'all know I used to be a science teacher. I taught in Florida. And what I did not teach, and one of the reasons, first of all, I don't like seventh graders. And if you are a parent who has a seventh grader, or you somebody who's around a seventh grader, I need you to know that that's the year that they lose all their shit. They don't be having no kind of sense about themselves. And when I tell you, I can't deal, okay? But one of the reasons I didn't teach seventh grade is because seventh grade there was always some type of evolution controversy where there were parents who were opting their kids out, and I didn't want to deal with that. I was like, take me out. I know I don't ever have to have that as a part of my curriculum. Um, but the reason I say that is because there are often clashes with science and religion. A lot of scientists don't believe in God, um, and which I also find interesting. But because science is very much practical and data driven and all of that, right? So, um, also as a scientist, you're curious. That is a scientific habit of mind, is curiosity and asking questions. And when you ask questions, and especially in religion, Christianity specifically, you're going to hell if you ask questions. That's what I need to know. Questions are not welcome. You don't ask questions. Also, with the overlap and intersection of those of indigenous people or black people who are descendants of slavery, you don't ask questions, you just do, you just follow. So putting all of that on top of each other, the work of deconstructing is a lot, and it happens in stages and phases. And so one of the places that I am actively deconstructing and asking myself what I believe about certain things and what evidences that I have, I think that is a healthy practice. It is also a very scary practice when you have built your entire foundation on things that you then find out are a lie. You know what happens is you have a mental health crisis, is what happens. And you make a decision. You decide to say, I'm going to just pretend like that never happened. I'm going to go back to what I did before, or I'm going to be brave enough to ask those questions. And so anytime that I see people that are deconstructing, I stop for a moment and listen to what they have to say, because I believe that questions are valuable. And I believe that questions can give us insight into how someone thinks, and questions can allow us to have understanding of who people are or who they're developing into and where they stand at the core of things. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this Christianity thing is that a lot of what is said in defense of things is it just is, or go read the Bible, as if there are no other texts that can provide information about what is happening. But the belief is that the Bible is the end all be all, done all, said all, it's don't you question that, when in reality it has been translated a bunch of times. It literally says the King James version. Who the hell is King James? He ain't God, is he? I mean, like, right? So when you start asking those questions, is often met with vitriol and anger, as opposed to, that's a good question. Who the hell is King James? And why are we reading his version of the Bible? Who else had a version? Now, and we know we can open up the Bible app and see that the New Living Translation, New International Version, the King James Version, there's the Message Bible. Like, we know that things are constantly being translated. I got to give you that now, at least. But that doesn't happen. So, I believe it is a very brave practice. And I also believe in being very transparent about where I stand, because also I'm looking for my people. If I'm not talking to you, bro, I'm literally not talking to you. When I tell you, I don't know how many people have like expressed that sentiment of like, I'm talking to who I'm talking to. Um, And if I'm not talking to you, that's okay. So one of the videos that I was watching this morning while I was in the comments, the lady was asking questions, and there were people in the comments that were like, just read the Bible and it'll tell you. And it was, girl, she's not talking to you, girl. She's not, don't come over here with all that, because there are a lot of the religiosity, you don't even know why you believe that. Somebody just told you that. That's not even, let me get off of this. And let me see what y'all said. Hold on. It was a comment that I wanted to pull. Sarah said something. Hold on. Here it is. She said, quantum physics unites science and spirituality for me. I'm also a scientist, and the more I learn, the more I believe in a higher power. Exactly that. But it's not the God that was given to me down there, to the Lutheran church, the Catholic church, to the full gospel church. It's not, that's not God. It's so much bigger than that. And the science of it all supports the fact that there is indeed some higher power, creator, something that is out here orchestrating things. Like, it is very, very clear the deeper you get into it. And so that's why I like asking the questions, and that's why I like going down the path, because I'm like, I really want to see what what my spirit leads me to, what this journey, where we wind up going. Because what I also know is I'm not the first one to take this journey. I literally know that I am following, like, when I be talking about leaving breadcrumbs, in my case, sunflowers, I'm literally following a path. Like, there are literally signs that are like, yep, yep, just keep going. I know you ain't seen a marker in a minute. Did y'all ever watch True Beverly Hills? Oh my God, I love True Beverly Hills so much. I'm about to cry just thinking about it. Oh my God. It's cookie time. 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 Them damn red feathers, they had took down some of the markers, and they was turning the markers in other ways. And guess what? True Beverly Hills still came out on top. Okay. That's what made me think about that. Anyway, I very much know that I'm on a path, and I'm deconstructing, and I'm following wherever it might go. And so one of the places I just recently wound up in was in the space of relationship anarchy. It's what it's called. Relationship anarchy. Now, the way that I wound up here is I was talking to someone about um oh, y'all didn't do True Beverly Hills? That's sad. It was a good time. I feel like me and Kalanda used to watch True Beverly Hills all the time. I used to love that movie. Anyway, relationship anarchy is something that came into my understanding because I was talking with someone and they asked me, I know what the conversation was. The conversation was about how I, as a single person, am often deprioritized in people's lives because they are in romantic relationships. And so basically, I feel like people, the setup in life is like, you're going to have these friends and then over time you're going to get married and you're going to have kids and then your friends might change or whatever, right? Now, I believe as a little autistic girl that I perceive that as we'll change together. But what I grew to learn over time is that because I did not live a life where it aligned with children and marriage, that I was either not included, excluded, or used as a babysitter, or used as your life is not as important because you don't have these particular things going on, motherhood or marriage. And so what happens for me, and I know that parents and anybody who's in a live-in relationship, whether that's a marriage or not, but definitely a marriage, that there's a lot that you have to do and manage or whatever, right? So I give you that. And also, my life doesn't work on that schedule, right? My life has never been centered around children. My life was centered around my dog when he had to go out and when he needed to eat. But no, I don't live a life where I'm home by 5 and dinner's on the table at 6. And like, no, I'm working until 10 tonight. And tomorrow, it was really weird, the expectations. And I'm speaking about multiple instances of this happening over my life where people would use me as the single friend or the one who stands in the gap, but like my things aren't as important. And like, mind you, my calendar be off the chain, has always been. I've been fired as a godparent because I couldn't be a babysitter because somebody called me at the last minute and was like, hey, can you watch the baby? No. Like, my life is not set up to do that. Like, so anyway, so we were having this type of conversation. I was basically saying, something that I've had to accept in life that happens and that I don't want these types of relationships is that once someone gets into a romantic relationship, they just abandon the friendships that are in their life. I've also talked a lot about Dr. Joy's book, Sisterhood Heals, and Dr. Joy talks about in her book how we prioritize romantic relationships and then we leave our friendships like they never existed and never mattered. And I have been the kind of person that has often people just be like, and combine that with I live in the computer. So you can just turn me off and forget that I even exist. You don't even have to acknowledge my existence if you don't turn on the computer today, because you're not going to see me in a grocery store. You're not going to see me down to the park and at the party. I don't exist. And so it is like forcing me to have to reevaluate my idea of family and friendship and who actually shows up and what showing up looks like and sounds like, and who is acting as if I don't exist anymore because now you have love in your life. So I was explaining that. That's what the conversation was about. So then they said, Because I said, I was like, I feel like our relationship should get equal priority. And I'm like, and I said, oh, because I was also talking about, it was a little situation that had happened with these dudes, right? And one dude had felt some type of way because, oh my God, it's too much to get into. Anyway, something had happened and somebody was feeling some type of way, and I felt very justified in what happened. Um, so I had said in that this relationship over here does not impact like this relationship and what we have in this container. There are certain things that are on the table. There are certain things that are off the table in this relationship. This is a different relationship. There are certain things that are on the table. There are certain things that are off the table in this relationship. And this is what I'm explaining to the person who asked me that. So then they were like, well, this kind of sounds like relationship anarchy. Like you want to give equal priority to every relationship and not prioritize the romantic relationship as the winning prize. And I was like, I don't know. I've never heard of that before, but let me go see. So that's what I want to talk about. And I want to preface all of this with saying I ain't no expert. I just found this out like 2 weeks ago. Okay. And I've been looking at the things and I was like, I'm fit to talk about this with the people because it gets the people going. And it's questions that we need to be asking ourselves about how we show up in relationships. Okay. So I'm not presenting myself here as an expert on this, child. I'm doing the research right with you. All right. So if y'all got questions, child, put them in the chat. And we can get those answered or put them in the comments if you're watching this in the replay, and we can learn together. Okay. I'm trying to say I'm over here being nosy, try to be having conversations in the comments, and but then they be taking me off track, so I gotta stay focused too. Okay, so let me see. Okay, there it is. So I'm gonna take us over here. I found so what I have learned in this time is that relationship anarchy is rooted in the how do I want to call it? Not subscribing to hierarchies. Like that's what's at the root of it, is not wanting to have hierarchies. And so as you get down, that's where it goes. Like if you keep getting deeper and deeper into it, it's going to land at the hierarchy situation. Okay. Um, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Embrace all that is you. Okay, wait, y'all got questions. Hold on. Did they explain why a romantic relationship should be the prize? Um, I don't think anybody explains that, but when I'm talking about the intersections of all these things in church, is definitely, especially for women, that you're waiting to be chosen because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And so you have to show yourself worthy of being a wife. I literally just sat here and thought about John Gray with his old adulterous ass, who had the nerve to sit in pulpits telling women how they need to show up better to be a wife. Nigga, what? So the church, and then conditioning from parents, right? Let me say this. My mother did not care about me getting married, but she did care about me having children. I don't know her what, because the marriage that of my childhood that they had was not healthy. So that was not necessarily, marriage was not necessarily something that was pushed in my household per se. Marriage was something that I felt like I wanted, and definitely was in church, be found and be, and have this husband and the two kids and the dog and the picket fence and shit. So that was like the thing, right? So then outside of marriage, romantic partnership is like you've been chosen and now y'all go and you build your life together and you have happily ever after. Like that's the steps that you're supposed to do. I never grew up in a world where it was like you need to make sure that you honor your friendships, because to embrace all that, as you said, when the romantic relationship gets cracked and they need someone to talk to, now you calling. and then I'm not available because I'm living my life. Like, but you didn't want to. It's like, it's happened to me so many times where people push me literally out their life and just be like, all right, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Like, it's crazy. And I'm also going to allow you to do that. I'm also going to allow you to do that because you invite people into what you want them to be a part of. And so if you're now giving all of that to your romantic partnership and there's nothing that's left here for me, I hope that that is meeting your needs. Because I really don't want people in my life who forget that I exist because now you have somebody that you love romantically. Because this is the thing for me. Friendship is the deeper relationship for me. And I don't, higher ain't the right word. It's the deeper relationship for me. For me, it's about depth of relationships. I don't really like to have shallow relationships with people. And that's across the board. So for me, friendship is a space where you're usually most honest and most transparent about what's going on. It's a space where there usually is emotional support. And mind you, that might look different from person to person, but I don't want to be romantically involved with someone who is not my friend. I did that shit already. Okay. I don't want to do that. There have also been times that I've said to people, I need you to be my friend. And then we could talk about anything else, but you going to have to be my friend first. But what they didn't want to do was put in the time and work that it takes to actually be a friend and to be somebody who others are able to trust and rely on, and be someone who actually cares about me as a person that's actually showing up. There are people that I have met here virtually that show up for me more than people that have sat next to me for years. So I want to attract people that are putting the same amount in intentionality into the relationships that they have. And there are ways to show up. There are different ways to show up. And so um that's what I prioritize. Now, I'm just finding out that there's names for all of this. Okay? What you hollering at the screen for? What is you hollering? Um I'm just finding out that there's names for all this. So I wanted to find. Oh Lord. Okay, so a few things I want to go through. Okay, so this is gonna be from an Instagram page. Wait, that's over here. Oh wait, that's over here. I got too many tabs open. Too many tabs open. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so this one says, what is relationship anarchy? A complete guide. And so we're going to go through this and then I'm going to see what y'all's thoughts are. Let me read the caption. Okay. The caption says relationship anarchy is often misunderstood, partly because the word anarchy makes most people picture chaos. The actual practice is intentional relationship design, not the default script. It's a relationship philosophy. The folks who land on relationship anarchy tend to share one thing. They got tired of the relationship escalator, society deciding which connections mattered most and which ones got demoted by default. The philosophy of relationship anarchy works across structures, whether partnered or single, polyamorous, or monogamous. Without a script, you write everything from scratch, and that takes a ton of communication and intention. Save this for when someone asks what RA is, and you want a complete answer to just send over. So, I'm going to put this link into the chat for those of y'all that are here in the chat. Wait, where is the chat? There it is. Oh no, we're still here. Okay, so that's the relationship anarchy thing that I'm about to go through. And this creator says the right WRIGHT _ Rachel and shame-free therapy. Okay, so what relationship anarchy is? Relationship anarchy is a relationship philosophy that rejects the idea of automatically ranking romantic relationships above other kinds. Andy Norgin named it in a 2006 manifesto, building on activist and queer community thinking that predates her work. Key term is relationship escalator. The relationship escalator is the default cultural script that puts all serious romantic relationships on the same upward sequence: dating, exclusivity, moving in, marriage, kids, forever. Relationship anarchy rejects the idea that this sequence is the only valid path or that climbing it makes a relationship more important. Common misreads of RA. Some people imagine RA as a free for all or an excuse to avoid commitment, or like it's only for folks who don't want to settle down, or just another word for polyamory. None of those are accurate. Relationship anarchy is a philosophy of intentional relationship design, and it can show up in any relationship structure. So that's meaning this could be a romantic relationship, this could be a business partnership, this could be a friendship, this could be an associateship, everything. The core principles: each relationship is unique and is designed by the people in it. Love and respect over entitlement and expectation. There is no automatic hierarchy across kinds of love. And commitments get customized to the relationship rather than inherited from the category. Relationship anarchy versus polyamory versus non monogamy. Wait, should I pause here for a processing break? Hold on. Let's pause here for a second before I move on to that next part. Let me see what y'all saying, if y'all have things. What is happening over here? They're singing. Okay. So I did want to insert where when it was talking about the different types of relationships and the fact that this is in any structure. This is not just about romantic. I hope we know that we have relationships that are not romantic. We have friendships, we have family relationships, right? So the idea of relationship anarchy is looking at each of these relationships without the title. I'll give you an example. So you all may have heard me talk about my uh lack of relationship with my mother. Um I struggled for a really long time with what I needed to do that was best for myself, because it was like, that's still your mother. At the end of the day, that's your mother. Now, mind you, my mother was abusive growing up. She was abusive to everyone in the house. So, myself, my brother, and my stepdad. Um, and it was a lot. And she also, even after that, um does not take accountability for anything. She just doesn't. And she gives Oscar winning performances, and she does not take accountability to own her actions and to correct her behavior, and therefore she is not welcome in my life. But prior to me coming to that understanding, I would be like, but that's my mama, so I have to. She is my mom. And in reality, I don't. Just because you own that title or that role does not mean that you get access to all these parts of me by default. So I was asked, Elbad actually asked me, he was like, if she wasn't your mother, then how would you is this somebody that you would consider a safe person to be in your life? And I was like, hell no. And he was like, well, that's your answer. So take the title off of it. Is this person a person that you would allow to be in your life if they did not own that title? So this idea of relationship anarchy allows us to really think deeply about what type of people we want in our lives and what type of relationship do I want um to share with you? What type of access do I want to grant you? Just because you have proximity to me don't mean that you get to show up at my house. There might be somebody who lives in another country that does get to show up at my house because they have that relationship, right? So um it's I think it's important to ask the questions, right, more than anything, because we don't ask the questions. We just kind of go with what society has said or what we were conditioned to believe is supposed to happen, when in actuality I can customize and craft the way that I want to exist in different relationships. So that, okay, so let me see what else we got in here. Oh, okay, we're about to go relationship anarchy versus, I don't know if y'all have questions, but feel free to put them in. I also don't know if I have the answer, but we'll see. Okay, so then this says relationship anarchy versus polyamory versus non monogamy. Polyamory describes a relationship structure with multiple romantic relationships at once. Non monogamy describes a broader category umbrella term for any consensual, non exclusive arrangement. Relationship anarchy is a philosophy that can apply to any structure. The structure and philosophy are separate questions. So, again, polyamory is a structure. Relationship anarchy and polyamory would say, because we're choosing to be in this polycule or whatever, this is how we are all going to intentionally choose to interact with each other. This is how the different pairs are going to interact with each other. This is what is on the table. This is what's off the table. Is intentional conversation and communication. What this looks like in practice. For some folks, RA looks like a deep, best friendship that gets the same protected time most people give their partners. Others build it around multiple intimate partnerships, none of which are formally ranked. Another version has one nesting partner, several close friends, and the explicit understanding that partner carries no automatic priority over friend. So we have a case study here. Picture someone who'd been on the escalator with a long term partner for 8 years. The friendships that had carried her since her 20s were getting demoted by default. She reorganized her life around relationship anarchy at 35. Her partner is her primary romantic relationship. Three close friends have weekly protected time together, and there's no implicit ranking between any of them. The old script of hierarchy had been mismatching with what she wanted for years. So, this also reminds me I have time on my calendar with my friends or with different people, and that is your time. And if we use your time, like we use your time, but like that is your time, and I'm going to honor that time. That time is not going to be, oh, I need to go do something with my boo, so girl, we don't have to meet today because my boo is here, type thing. So yeah, okay, so what relationship anarchy asks of you? This framework often requires a lot more communication, which for some is a perk. Now, I'm a communicating as somebody. I love to communicate. It is very important to me, right? Everybody don't like to communicate, and therefore that's not somebody who would be a part of relationship anarchy. Without a script, you have to write everything from scratch. What this relationship is, what both of you want from it, and what it's allowed to be when it changes. This reminds me of something else. I was talking to someone who was getting a divorce, and the conversation that we were having was about, do you love the person or do you love their title? Because the marriage is dissolving. This, I'm gonna bring it up, this big Will and Jada energy. The marriage and romantic relationship is dissolving. However, if you still love them as the person that they are, then you continue to love them even though you no longer have access to their sexual energy, because that's the only difference. Honestly, at the end of the day, is that you get to have access to their sexual energy and they're removing that access to that sexual energy. You can still be friends, you can still love them, you can still support them, you can still care about them, you can still raise your children together, you can still have a healthy relationship. You just no longer have access to the sexual energy. But that takes maturity And that means that you have to actually love this person, not what this person can do for you or what this person does in that role. And for me, that's a deeper type of love, that we can continue to love each other beyond how this relationship might evolve. That's what that last slide reminded me of. Okay, let me get back over here. And so again, without a script, you have to write everything from scratch. What this relationship is, what both of you want from it, and what it's allowed to be when it changes. Where does this get hard? Relationship anarchy is harder for folks who are raised on the relationship escalator script. So, like almost all of us, because all of us have been conditioned in that way. The script gave structure, and throwing it out without something to replace it can leave you feeling a bit anxious, confused, or even deeply uncomfortable. If you're craving relationship anarchy to avoid intimacy or accountability, the philosophy won't do that. All right, so these are our takeaways. Relationship anarchy is a relationship philosophy that rejects the automatic ranking of romantic relationships above other kinds of relationships. Relationship anarchy rejects the idea that climbing the relationship escalator makes a relationship more important. The four key principles are: there are no automatic hierarchy, designed by people in it, commitments are customized, and love and respect are prioritized over entitlement and expectation. And then it says, don't forget that all relationship structures and philosophies are valid as long as they don't harm other people. So, this is the journey that I want to take here over this time of talking about how this idea of relationship anarchy evolves. I've been collecting resources. There's a resource I want to share next week that has, well, actually, let me see. I have a few minutes. I might be able to find it. There's a resource that I want to share that gives like the tools, the questions or question stems or categories, if you will, that we can pull from to start having conversations about what we want, excuse me, what we want the relationships around us to be and what we want them to look like and sound like. So let me see if I can find that right quick. Hold on. Was it in here or did I? Here it is. Oh, wait. No, I don't want her to talk about it. Let me just hold on. Maybe I can just research it. It's called Relationship Anarchy Smorgasbord. Oh, let me come back over here. So let me see if I can find it. Let me know what y'all are thinking. Okay, I need one that's going to be big enough for me to see now, y'all. Okay, this one is simplistic enough. All right. Respect means something different to every single person on the face of the planet. And so the idea of respect is something that really needs to be defined. What one person thinks is respect, somebody else may think is disrespectful. And so it's a very, very, very important conversation to have. We used to have this conversation as well in education and classrooms because there's it's perception, like it literally is perception, and without defining what it means, it becomes a place where misunderstanding will live. So the idea is to have a conversation about what those things mean and outline those. Okay, so this is a relationship anarchy smorgasbord. This is credited through Women's Health. And these are just some of the areas, but basically caregiving, for example, Do you want the caregiving responsibilities to be with your partner? Do you with your romantic partner? Do you want what, like, especially for somebody like myself who doesn't have a partner, are me and my friends going to get together and decide that we will care for each other? Do we want to have a legal entanglement? Do we want to have a marriage? Do we want to have civil partnership? Do we want to adopt children? What is our power structure, right? Like, are we friends? Are we sisters or what? Like, I don't know, whatever those things mean, but then you got to define that. Um, this one is definitely centered on romantic relationships. It says share values and goals, commitment, cohabitation. But like, there are some of us who don't want to live with our romantic partner. Kiki Palmer talks about that all the time. That that's not something that is desired by everybody. And so you would want to be partnered with someone, romantically partnered with someone who understands we won't be living in the same house. And there are people that want that. Physical intimacy, you know, are we allowed to touch each other? Is hugging okay? Are you somebody that cringes at the idea of being hugged? Like, those are things that can be talked about. Okay, so this one was centered on romantic, but I'm gonna find there's another one, but it's small and I don't, my glasses ain't working good enough for me to see what it really say. But that's the one I want to share next week, is the relationship smorgasbord. What I would like for you to do for your homework, for your soul work this week, is to start thinking about what relationship that you want to have an intentional conversation about, and with the other person or persons that are involved, and what are the places that you want to find some clarity in those relationships. um so the answer is, let me get out the comments. I don't know what's happening over here. So what is the relationship that you want to focus on for this case study, if we will, that we're doing this learning? What is the relationship that you want to focus on, or what is the type of relationship that you want to focus on? Maybe you want to focus on friendships, or maybe you want to focus on romantic partnership. So what relationship is that? See, we have somebody who's like, don't touch me, right? And so that would be important for someone to know, whether that be a friend or a romantic partner. Don't touch me. I don't want to be touched, right? For me, I need you to make sure that your hands are washed, because I don't know what you was touching before you came up in here. So don't touch me. With, I remember I ain't never swerved so hard, been the matrix so hard in my life, where somebody tried to touch my face. I was like, what are you doing? It was a lot. Um, but yeah, so it's having those conversations. Is touch welcome? You know, are we in a friendship? Are we going to talk about our romantic partners? Is that something that we're going to do, or is that something that we're going to leave out of this space? Like, have the conversations with intentionality instead of making the assumptions. All right. It's one last thing that I wanted to show y'all, and this, I'm going to go deeper into this. But I had just mentioned Kiki Palmer and her talking about creating a cohabitative space, if you will, without her romantic partner and with others. So I found this creator who, what does this say? Collective living pros and cons. Now, this is something I've been on for a minute, but also in phases of like collective living and what that looks like and sounds like. So I just want to play just a little tad, and then we're going to talk about this next week too. Hold on. So I want to kind of explore that idea of there was no sound. Oh man, not that y'all didn't hear nothing. What happened? That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna just put the link for y'all and then we'll get into this next time. That sucks. Basically she was saying that she owns a multi-family unit and she lives collectively with herself and some of her friends. They all have their own unit and they collectively share resources and food and care for each other. She mentioned that she does have lovers, but they are not centered in. That's crazy. They ain't have no sound that whole time. That's wild. Wild. But again, I'll put the link in the description. But she said that she still has lovers, but they are not prioritized in the home. And they that's a different type of relationship. So in where she lives, she's building collectively with her friends. And so I'm curious about what that might look like. Now, mind you, we are building virtually, but what that looks like for us to think about our end of life plans, thinking about our friends, and not necessarily with the romantic partner being the one who is in charge of everything. Maybe they're not the best person to handle the things. Maybe you just want them to grieve. Maybe you have a friend that is willing to doula you onto the other side, right? So there are different ways that we are able to put systems in place. And being someone who is living in the world with myself and by myself, physically, I think it is important to be intentional about having these conversations with others who also may be looking for support in these areas. Because at the end of the day, we all we got, and so we don't have to be figuring these things out on our own. We can collectively pull together and start a business. We can collectively pull together and create a homestead. We can do that. It doesn't have to be centered in romance. So that's what I want to talk about over the next few weeks. And so I'm excited for you all to be here and along for the journey. And I hope that that's going to be a good time, you know? Um, so I wanted to, let me see, let me get my bells and whistles together here. There we go. So, for our closing thoughts, well, before I get the closing thought, let me remind you that tomorrow we're going to be back with another episode of So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. We'll be live starting at 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on from 12 to 2 to just before 2. And then that's happening tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we'll have Just Ask Kim, where you can come with your questions if you're a part of the Patreon. Oh, I forgot. Right after this, so in an hour or so, Shekinah and I are going to be on to record the first 4 episodes of Let's Talk Sis. So please do, if you're in the archive, come and hang out with us in that recording. Also, if you're a part of the LTS Sisterhood, then you're also able to get the link over there. And right now, the LTS Sisterhood is free. So if y'all go over to patreon.com/LTS Sisterhood, you can get connected. I'm just saying, okay, all right, cool. Just trying to give you the end on the things. Okay, so anyway, so I want to tell you about that and remind you about that. And Just Ask Him on Wednesday. Thursday, we have co-working, so make sure that y'all are here with us. And then we'll have season 1 on Friday, and then we'll be back here with the next episode of the Frolicking Truth. Please make sure that you have liked the page, subscribed to the page, that you share this, that you tap the screen, that you leave a comment about something that stood out to you, something that you're thinking about, something that you want to dig deeper on. This is a community. I want y'all to talk to each other and meet each other. I know this is like a space that I curated, but everything ain't got to be about me, okay? So make sure that you're connecting with the people and sharing, what you're learning, and send some more folks over here. We're looking for our peeps. Okay, you feel me? All right, cool. So let me look at the closing thoughts. Okay, so I think there's a lot of power in being able to design things in a way that makes our spirits feel happy and allows our spirits to figure out what works best for us. And that's the journey that I want to invite us on, and allowing ourselves to imagine a way that works, that feels connected. The idea of deconstructing is not easy, and it happens in every single area of our life. But I do believe that if we take an honest look in when we were talking about things like love or religion or relationships, and where that came from, and whether it was actually designed with our wholeness and our wellness in mind, that we will be able to allow ourselves to release what was given and to embrace what we deserve to have and what our spirits actually need. So, I have a quote here from Janet Authorine, and it says, "Soulmates are friends whose spirits travel together. Hearts break and mend together, and souls rise together in love, acceptance, and harmony." That's the love story that I am looking to seek, and looking to write, and looking to capture the love story of the friends that helped me to find the ground. Those of you who have showed up in this space to support me and get my work out and hang out with me and send encouraging words, and all of that means a lot. And I want to really be intentional in honoring those relationships that we're building. So I want to center that and protect that and pour into that, because for me, friendship is the real love story. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll be seeing y'all soon. Oh, wait, I have a button I have to press. Where did it go? This is so funny because I be having the things ready and then it don't be wanting to work. Okay, I'm gonna do this one instead. I tell you, where's production? Where is production when you need them? Goodness gracious. Okay, I think we got it now. Okay, bye guys.